Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my technical Minecraft Let's Play. So in the previous episode we left off at the automatic furnace that spits out items and then they get collected here. So I've done a bit of smelting just to see if everything works, and as far as I'm aware it works completely well. But there is one problem that I saw, and I don't really see why it happens, but the first round when it spits out the items, it doesn't send the minecart across again, so it stops, but if I start it up again then it works completely fine, so that's really odd, but I will look into that later. But right now I have done something that you might want to see, so let me get there and we'll see what I've done. So where could we possibly be? Yeah, we are at the squid farm and I've dug everything out. So yeah, this took quite a long time, and actually removing all the walls and then placing the sand into place took a lot of time as well, but I'm not really satisfied with how it looks, so in the future I will come back and modify the things that I don't like, which are the circles. As you can see, the top circle is so to say perfect circle in Minecraft. And then I just went down one block and just hoped that it would look good, but it didn't turn out so good, which means I'll have to go layer by layer and looking at the dimensions of it, and then just putting the dimensions into a software that will generate a circle for me so that they will be perfect circles in each layer, and hopefully that will look good. But you know, that's a whole new project for a new episode, and I don't feel like doing it now, so maybe in the future, and let's hope it will look good then. Okay, so now let me go back to my base and then we'll see what we're gonna do today. Back at my base, and let's see what we're gonna do this episode. So this is the topic of today's episode, a netherwood farm. So I don't wanna just build like a small netherwood farm that I can harvest with water. I actually want to get 2000 netherwood from each harvest, so that should be 2000 soul sand, I think, since you get 2 per harvest on average, and you plant 1. So yeah, 2000 blocks of soul sand is what I'll need, and then I'll need to shape it so that the water flows down to a central point where it's collected by a hopper and then stored into a chest so that I can replant everything back. So of course I don't have 2000 soul sand in the world currently, which means I'll have to go and harvest it in the nether. So let me find a good spot where there's a lot of soul sand, and then I'll be back. I think I'll dig the soul sand right here, since there's a huge surface area right here, and then a chunk right there, and more soul sand down there if I need it. So I'm gonna go with 2048 soul sand because that is a number that is divisible by 64 and it equals to 32 stacks of soul sand, which is exactly how much space I have in my inventory. So I guess I'll start digging and I'll be back when my inventory is full of soul sand. That was a lot quicker than I thought, and there's a bunch of ghost blocks preventing me from moving. So yeah, this was a huge batch of soul sand. I guess it was 5 blocks deep, so yeah, that's 2048 soul sand. Which means in the future we still have a lot of soul sand if we want to do something more insane with it. Okay, so let me go back to my base and let me just find an area at which I will build it, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I figured out how I want to place the soul sand so that I can wash all the netherwoods at the same time and then collect them all in one place. So I'm just going to be using one dispensers, which means I'll be making like a square, but it's gonna be rotated like 45 degrees, so it's gonna be, and like you see here, just 7 more out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then here it will go on the diagonals, connecting to that one, and pretty much I think if you look at it like that, it forms a square. So that's how I calculated the surface area. And I will need a bit more soul sand, because it's kind of difficult to get the correct amount. So yeah. Okay, so now what I'll have to do is actually figure out how many blocks up I'll have to build this, since it needs to go down every 7 blocks, and then at the last point it then needs to go 1 over, water will flow down, and then back towards the inner part so that it will all get collected right underneath here. Okay, so let me figure some things out and then I'll be back. So I've mapped some things out, as you can see. This is how it will look in the end. Just expand it on all sides and connect it together. So let's hope you can imagine. But see, here it goes 6 because this water will come from that block, so that's the 1 block. And then another 6, making it 7, so that it goes over and down, 7 more, another 7, and then 4. And if I calculate it correctly, that should give us like 2,400. That should give us a surface of 2,400 blocks. And then water will come here, flow downwards, and then go 7 blocks to here to go down. Again 7, 7, and then 4 to this block, and here will be the hopper where it all gets collected. So now let me branch out the other 3 areas and then I'll be back. There we go, all 4 sides are now built out, and now all I have to do is connect them by the diagonal. So I will make progress updates on each layer, and I will be planting netherwood as I go along, so that while I'm building, some of it grows and I'll have more to plant, because I definitely don't have over 2,000 netherwood. So before this farm will be 100% efficient on the area that it has, I will need to actually wait and harvest them, and harvest it like half at a time, because I quite frankly am not even close to 2,400 netherwood. Okay, so let me connect the first layer and then I'll be back. The top layer and the smallest layer is now built and planted, as you can see. So some are already growing, which tells me they grow really fast, which is good. That means that I will get a lot of netherwood while building it, so that I will be able to plant most of it up, I think. And I was doing some calculations again just to see if I'm correct, because this is Minecraft and we're kind of missing like half blocks on these parts, and I don't really know if I'm actually going to get the surface area that I wanted, but nevertheless it's quite a huge area, so it should be good enough, I guess. Okay, so let me build the second layer and let me plant as much of it as I can, and then I'll be back. The second layer has now been built and I planted what I could. I mean, this is 44 netherwood, so this one takes quite a lot of it actually, and each layer just adds to the surface. It's not like different, it's not this one plus this one, since if you lower that one, that makes one layer, and increases its diagonal. So let's hope the difference that the corner blocks, that some of them are missing, that actually gets pretty unnoticeable at the last one because of the sheer scale of it. Okay, so now let me go to the third layer. The third layer is now built, and I realized I made a mistake with how I calculated the surface area, and that's because I was doing it in the morning when I was tired. So how I calculated was I took this thing, how long it was from that point to that point down there, which is 49, and I just squared that, which gave me like something over 2400. But that's, I guess, not correct, since from that point to that point right there, I don't think will be 49. So if it's not, then the surface area will be smaller than what I intended it to be, making me look like a fool, I guess, and kinda just lowering the rates that I wanted for the farm, which is not good really. But I guess if it won't be enough, I'll just add 3 more blocks right there and just have 4 layers that are 7 wide, and hopefully that should be good enough. So let me build the last layer and then I'll be back. Okay, so the last layer is now built, and I actually extended it by 3 blocks so that it's now 7 like the rest of them. And the soul sand that I got left with was like something over 5 stacks, which means this thing per harvest will give me around 1512, something like that, which is good enough, I guess. Can't really complain about that. It's really a shame that I just miscalculated that, which shouldn't really happen, but you know, next time I'll triple check my results and hopefully I'll never make the same mistake again. Okay, so now let me craft a dispenser and let me hook it up here, and then I'll be back. Okay, so the dispenser is now in place, and quite frankly we could say this is a finished project, but that'd be a lie, since we don't have a collection area yet. And I don't know if I'm going to actually make the same collection area as I said when I started building this thing, because I don't think I feel like placing so many blocks to funnel the water into one space. Because right here, while I don't have to do anything, it's just digging it out. On the other side, as you can see, there's quite a lot of room underneath it, and it's a mob fest because mobs can spawn down here. Yeah, currently there's only 1, but sometimes I come down here and there's like 5 of them. And creepers, that scared me. Okay, creepers keep just walking up, and then I need to be really careful so that they don't explode. But yeah, so let me think about how I'm going to collect the netherwood, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've just built the walls so that you can't see underneath it and the mobs can't really get out of it, and I will light it up. But now what I have to do is go around it and dig these parts out and create the tunnel, wire up some redstone so I can fire the dispenser, and add a chest to collect all my items. So let me do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've now added the bottom area so that all the water flows to one point. I added a collection area, as you can see down there, and I even did my best to light it up. So I did do everything symmetrical, hopefully, so all the jack-o'-lanterns are facing in the same direction. So that's towards the outer side, and I think it looks good, and in the future there will be grass all over it, and maybe I'll add a farm down here in the future, I guess. But currently there's not going to be anything, so the redstone I didn't really do any fancy things, because I couldn't actually connect it to the outside, since it would block the water. And I didn't want to add the button like closer to that point, since that will make it look ugly. So let's activate it, go out and see how it looks. Oh, look at how many of them are going down here. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, and of course a bed is not something that's meant to be in the farm, but it looks like all of them are going through. It looks like the water is actually flowing to the edges. No items are getting stuck anywhere, which is what I hoped would happen. And I guess this, despite the mathematical error that I made, and the fact that I need to have like a trap door here, everything worked out for the best. So let's just go in here and see how it looks. Oh, that looks insane. Okay, so I guess I'll end the episode now. All the items are coming here. And of course they overflow the hopper, which is not what I expected. So I'll add more hoppers so that the items get distributed alongside all of them. And yeah. Okay, so if you enjoyed the episode, please do give it a like. And if you really enjoyed it, make sure to click that subscribe button for more weekly episodes. And I'll see you in the next one.